Ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why some rise while others remain seated. A reason why some live lives of power, purpose, and persistence, while others surrender to the slow death of hesitation and regret. That reason is not chance, nor is it luck. It is not found in talent, education, or birthright. No, the dividing line between the accomplished and the average is drawn by two forces, motivation and discipline. And make no mistake, these two are not gifts. They are forged, they are earned, and they are available to all who are willing to pay the price. Let us not be deceived. The modern world sells you comfort disguised as success. It tells you to follow your feelings, to wait for inspiration, to feel ready. But those who achieve anything of true value know that waiting is the language of the weak. You do not wait to feel like moving. You move, and in motion you become unstoppable. You do not chase inspiration. You command it by doing the work when it is hardest to begin. Discipline is the root of all sustained greatness. It is the invisible thread that ties your days to your destiny. The man who rises early to attack his goals, the woman who studies when no one is watching, the worker who chooses effort over ease. These are the architects of their own success. They do not negotiate with laziness. They do not debate with doubt. They act, they execute, they persist. But before action, there must be purpose. For discipline without direction is like a spear thrown into the dark, forceful but useless. You must define what it is you want with unshakable clarity. You must know the mountain you aim to climb and commit to it fully, not halfway, not, if it's convenient, fully, with your mind, your body, and your spirit in total alignment, until you burn with a desire so fierce that excuses cannot survive in its presence. And once that purpose is clear, your days must become sacred, not random, not reactive, sacred. You must shape them with structure. Guard your mornings, fortify your habits, build a routine so loyal to your vision that it becomes easier to obey it than to break it. Do not fall for the illusion that freedom lies in doing what you want. True freedom is the result of disciplined living, because when your actions are consistent, your results become inevitable. Now hear this truth and do not turn from it. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not failure. It is not rejection. It is not the criticism of others. It is your own mind, undisciplined and untamed. The thoughts that whisper, "You can't." The fears that creep in when progress feels slow. The inner voice that says, "West, wait, quit." If you allow that voice to rule you, your potential will rot in silence. But if you train your mind to serve you, rather than sabotage you, then there is nothing beyond your reach. Every day you have a choice, to move forward with courage or retreat in comfort. Choose the path that demands more of you, because what demands more builds more. There is no growth in ease. There is no pride in what is handed to you. Power comes from persistence. Confidence comes from conquest, not of others, but of yourself. Surround yourself with standards higher than your own. Do not seek people who make you feel good about staying the same. Find those who challenge your pace, question your excuses, and pull you toward a greater version of yourself. Let your environment be one of pressure and possibility, not passivity. A single disciplined friend is more valuable than 100 indulgent companions. There will be days when motivation deserts you, days when the goal seems far, the grind seems pointless, and the old habits call you back. It is in these moments that your true power is revealed. When the emotion is gone, but you still act. When the doubt is loud, but you still push. That is discipline, action without permission from emotion, resolve without reliance on inspiration. The world rewards the few who stay when it's hard, who show up when no one else will, who work not for applause but for progress. And I promise you this if you can master discipline. Not once, but daily. You will no longer need to rely on fleeting motivation. You will become the kind of person who builds momentum simply by waking up. You will become a force that no circumstance can bend, no failure can defeat. So do not ask, "How can I stay motivated?" Ask instead, "What must I become to never need motivation?" And the answer is this: become a person of discipline, a person of vision, a person of relentless execution. The time for wishing is over. The time for talking is done. Now is the time for building, for becoming, for dominating your days so your life bows to your command. Decide now who you will be, then go out and prove it, every single day. Every achievement in life, whether great or small, begins in the mind, with an idea, a spark of desire. But a desire alone is not enough. Vague wishing, casual wanting, these are the habits of those who live and die with potential still locked inside them. To truly move forward in life, you must know exactly what it is you want. You must have a definite purpose. This is not just some lofty dream scribbled on a vision board. It is a burning obsession, a goal so clear and personal to you that it consumes your thoughts, guides your actions, and shapes your future. Without a definite purpose, life becomes a wandering maze. Days drift by, opportunities pass unnoticed, energy is scattered, and progress is minimal because there is no focus, no target. People spend years working hard, but working hard at what? If you don't know what you're aiming for, how will you know when you've hit the mark? Worse, how will you know which direction to go at all? This is the curse of the unclear mind, a life of busy motion but little movement. A person with a clear purpose wakes up differently. They rise with urgency because they have something to build, something to chase, something to prove. They do not waste time comparing themselves to others because their path is already carved out in their mind. They are not pulled off course by distractions because their course is fixed. Purpose does not allow space for weakness to flourish. It demands strength, attention, and commitment. But to find this purpose, you must get brutally honest with yourself. What do you truly want? Not what sounds good, not what others expect of you. What do you desire so deeply that you are willing to sacrifice for it? What do you dream about when no one else is watching? What would you continue to pursue even if no one ever applauded? Your purpose must not be borrowed. It must not be vague. It must come from within you, sharp and specific. Write it down, say it aloud, burn it into your mind. Let it be so clear that every action either brings you closer to it or moves you away from it. And you will know the difference. Let it guide how you use your time, where you place your attention, and who you allow into your life. Purpose makes decision-making simple, because if it doesn't serve the mission, it doesn't belong. Most people never decide. They live in maybe. They chase one thing today, another tomorrow, and end up with nothing of substance. But those who decide, truly decide, and back that decision with disciplined action, those are the people who change the world around them. Because once you have a definite purpose, motivation follows. Clarity creates energy. You're no longer lost, and you're no longer dependent on inspiration, because now every day has meaning. Every step has direction. Every challenge becomes a test you are willing to pass because the outcome is worth it. When your purpose is definite, the path may still be difficult, but it is never confusing. You will face resistance. You will be tested. But you will not be shaken because you know why you started. And when you know why you started, you are far more likely to finish. So decide, define, commit. Your purpose is the foundation of everything that will follow. Without it, you will drift. But with it, truly locked in, you become unstoppable. Success is not the result of one big decision or one grand effort. It is the product of the small, quiet choices made every single day. It is born in routine, the daily habits that seem insignificant in the moment but carry enormous weight over time. If you want to build a life of purpose, achievement, and inner strength, then you must understand the power of a daily routine. Without structure, you drift. Without discipline, you decay. But with a well-built routine, you shape your future before the world even wakes up. Most people live in reaction. They wake up when they feel like it, check their phone for distractions, and let the day decide what happens next. They give away control of their time, their focus, and their potential. But those who build discipline understand that the day must be claimed before it begins. The first hour of your day sets the tone for the rest. A powerful routine creates momentum, and momentum creates results. When you repeat the right actions day after day, you start to feel a sense of direction, a rhythm that keeps you moving forward even when motivation disappears. It is not about how glamorous your routine looks. It is about how consistent and aligned it is with your purpose. A powerful daily routine doesn't have to be complex. It has to be intentional. Wake up at the same time. Move your body. Read something that sharpens your mind. Focus on what matters before distractions can reach you. Choose your actions before the world tries to choose them for you. This is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Even if you feel tired, even if it's inconvenient, you show up. Because showing up is what builds discipline, and discipline is what builds dreams. The beauty of a strong daily routine is that it removes decision fatigue. You don't waste time asking, "Should I do this?" You already know. You've decided once, and now you simply follow through. That mental clarity allows you to use your energy where it matters most, on growth, on creation, on progress. You are no longer overwhelmed because your day is broken into predictable, productive segments. You move with intent, not impulse. And when challenges come, and they will, your routine becomes your anchor. It reminds you of who you are. It keeps you grounded in progress even when life feels chaotic. Where others panic or stall, you continue. Where others fall into distraction or discouragement, you fall back on structure. A solid routine gives you stability in uncertain times. It is the habit of high achievers, the blueprint of builders, the quiet power behind every major success. Your goals do not care how you feel. They only respond to what you do. And what you do consistently becomes who you are. A powerful routine is a statement to yourself and the world. I will not leave my success to chance. I will build it day by day, no matter what. It's not about being perfect every day. It's about refusing to let laziness run your life. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is hidden in your daily actions. So take control of your time. Design your days with purpose. Choose your habits carefully because they are building your character whether you realize it or not. Greatness is not hidden in dramatic moments. It is built quietly, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the hours when no one is watching but your future self is waiting. That's the power of a daily routine. It transforms who you are and where you're headed, one day at a time. The mind is the command center of your entire life. Everything you do, everything you avoid, every success you build or destroy begins in thought. If your mind is undisciplined, your actions will be scattered, your emotions will run wild, and your life will follow a path of confusion and inconsistency. But when you learn to control your mind, to train it, to direct it with purpose, you gain the power to shape your future with intention rather than live as a victim of reaction. Most people live under the rule of their emotions. They are happy when things go their way, discouraged when faced with difficulty, and paralyzed by fear or doubt when challenges appear. They think that peace, focus, and strength are things that just happen when conditions are right. But that is not how true inner control works. You must claim authority over your thoughts the same way a leader takes command of a battlefield. You must decide that your mind will serve you, not sabotage you. Thoughts are not harmless. They become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become habits. And habits shape your destiny. If you allow negative, weak, or fearful thoughts to run freely in your mind, they will infect everything you do. Your confidence will fade. Your ambition will shrink. Your energy will collapse. But when you catch those thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with truth, you start building mental strength. You start standing in power rather than crumbling in pressure. This does not mean you pretend everything is perfect. It means you recognize that your mind must be governed. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to believe, which ones to reject, and which ones to act on. And the more intentional you become with this process, the more control you gain. Just like a muscle, your mind grows stronger the more you train it. Repetition is key. Every day is an opportunity to reinforce focus, resilience, clarity, and belief. Control of the mind begins with awareness. You must watch your thoughts like a gatekeeper watches the entrance to a fortress. When fear tries to sneak in, recognize it. When doubt tries to whisper, expose it. When distractions try to pull you off course, push back. Speak truth to yourself even when your emotions scream the opposite. You are not weak because fear shows up. You are strong because you act in spite of it. That is true mental mastery. What you feed your mind determines how it behaves. If you fill it with negativity, meaningless entertainment, and constant noise, don't be surprised when it turns against you. But if you feed it with wisdom, discipline, quiet reflection, and purpose, it will become your greatest weapon. Protect your mental environment. Guard your time. Choose what you allow into your thoughts as carefully as you would guard your home from intruders. Because that's exactly what negative influences are, intruders stealing your potential. When you control your mind, you stop blaming the world for your results. You stop depending on motivation to take action. You stop quitting when things feel difficult. Instead, you operate from principle. You move with certainty. You become the type of person who is dangerous to distraction and immune to discouragement. Not because you don't feel it, but because you don't obey it. The world will always throw chaos your way. There will always be stress, setbacks, and resistance. But if your mind is trained, you remain steady. You adapt, you pivot, but you don't fall apart. That kind of control doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. With daily effort, honest reflection, and relentless self-discipline. So take back your thoughts. Refuse to be ruled by emotion, fear, or distraction. Strengthen your inner world, and your outer world will begin to shift. The power is already within you. It's not a matter of whether you have it. It's a matter of whether you'll use it. And the moment you decide to take control of your mind is the moment you begin to take control of your life. No one rises to their full potential alone. Success is never built in isolation. Behind every discipline-driven, high-performing individual is a force often overlooked: accountability and the environment they choose to live in. These two elements, when used with intention, can multiply your progress and make the difference between staying stuck and breaking through. Because no matter how strong you believe your willpower is, the people around you and the conditions you live in are either sharpening your edge or dulling it. Accountability is not about judgment. It's about commitment. It's about creating a system where your goals are not just ideas in your head, but promises you've made out loud. When you know someone is watching, when you've declared your mission and others expect you to follow through, a new level of focus is born. You push harder. You show up stronger. You eliminate excuses because now the mission is bigger than your mood. Most people fail not because they don't have talent, but because they lack consistent follow-through. Accountability fills that gap. It gives your ambition structure. It creates urgency where there was once delay. It's easy to lie to yourself, to rationalize why you didn't do what you said you would. But when you've made your goal public, whether to a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even an audience, you create leverage. Now there's weight behind your word. Now there's something to lose if you quit. That pressure, when used correctly, doesn't paralyze you. It drives you. It keeps you honest. It reminds you that success requires more than desire. It requires execution. But accountability alone is not enough if your environment is working against you. Your surroundings are speaking to you every day, whether you realize it or not. The people you allow into your circle, the places you spend your time, the noise you consume, all of it shapes your mindset, your habits, and your future. If you surround yourself with negativity, laziness, and low standards, you will absorb it. Slowly, your goals will shrink, your standards will lower, and your vision will blur. On the other hand, when you place yourself in an environment of excellence, where people push themselves, speak truth, and demand growth, something inside you awakens. You start thinking bigger. You start working harder. You stop making excuses because no one around you is tolerating them. This is the power of proximity. You become like those you spend the most time with. If you want to change your life, one of the fastest ways is to change your environment. That may mean distancing yourself from people who drain your energy. That may mean redesigning your space to reflect focus and clarity instead of chaos and clutter. It may mean cutting out toxic habits that come from convenience and replacing them with disciplines that build your strength. Whatever it takes, do it. You are either creating a space that supports your growth or one that sabotages it. Understand this: Your environment is either making your goals easier or harder to reach. It is either aligning with your vision or pulling you away from it. When you combine a strong system of accountability with a powerful environment, you create the conditions where discipline becomes natural. You eliminate unnecessary friction. You build consistency because everything around you supports it. So don't just focus on personal willpower. Focus on systems. Focus on structure. Focus on surrounding yourself with people who make you raise your standards just by being near them. Seek out accountability not as a weakness, but as a strategy. And never underestimate how much your surroundings are influencing your decisions, your energy, and your destiny. You were not meant to do this alone. Lean on others. Build alliances. Choose your environment with intention. Because when accountability is high and your environment is aligned with your goals, the path becomes clearer, the distractions lose power, and your progress becomes unstoppable. Vision is the ability to see with your mind what has not yet appeared in your reality. It is the inner picture that pulls you forward when everything around you tells you to quit. But vision alone is not enough. Every person who ever failed had a vision at some point. They had dreams, they had ideas, but they lacked the one thing that transforms a mental image into a living achievement: willpower. When vision is backed by willpower, you become a force that is not easily shaken, not easily distracted, and absolutely unwilling to settle for anything less than the outcome you've decided upon. Your vision is the destination. It's where you're headed. It's what makes the struggle worth it and gives the pain a purpose. It is deeply personal, and it cannot be borrowed. You must see it for yourself, believe it for yourself, and own it fully. It becomes your reason for getting up earlier, staying focused longer, saying no more often, and giving more of yourself when most people have already walked away. Vision gives you direction, but it is willpower that gives you motion. Willpower is the decision to act, even when comfort tempts you to stand still. It's the voice in your mind that says, "I'll do it anyway," when you feel tired, distracted, discouraged, or afraid. It doesn't ask for motivation. It doesn't wait for the right time. It does the work because the work must be done. And when your vision is deeply embedded in your identity, willpower becomes easier to summon. You don't debate with yourself. You don't negotiate with laziness. You act, because not acting would mean betraying the future you've already seen in your mind. Most people give up because their vision is vague and their willpower is weak. They don't really know what they want, and they're not really committed to paying the price. But when you lock onto your vision and fuel it with relentless willpower, you step into a rare category. You become one of the few who will do whatever it takes, for however long it takes, until the vision becomes real, and that mindset alone separates the achievers from the dreamers. The world will test your will. Life will throw delays, rejections, and distractions. You will face moments of deep doubt, and you will be tempted to lower your standards or shrink your dreams just to make life easier. But willpower doesn't shrink. Willpower expands. It grows stronger each time you say no to weakness and yes to the mission. Each time you do what's hard when it's easier to do nothing. You train your mind to obey your higher self. And in time, your vision moves closer, not because of luck, but because of daily choices backed by inner strength. Vision without willpower is a wish. Willpower without vision is wasted energy. But when the two come together, your life becomes an unstoppable movement toward a future of your own design. You no longer move like everyone else. You move with fire. You move with precision. You move with purpose. You are no longer waiting for life to happen. You are making it happen. So protect your vision. Clarify it. Refine it. Keep it close when the world gets loud and the path gets dark. And when your strength is tested, as it surely will be, dig deeper, push harder. Decide again and again and again that you will not stop, because when your willpower fuels your vision, success is not a matter of if. It is only a matter of when. There will come a time, many times, when your emotions will try to take control of your actions. You will wake up and not feel like moving. You will face rejection and feel like quitting. You will look around and wonder if your effort is even worth it. That's when most people stop. That's when the average mindset gives up, steps back, and begins to settle. But greatness doesn't answer to emotion. Greatness answers to persistence, the kind of persistence that moves forward not because it feels good, but because it is necessary. It is the decision to continue when your emotions scream for escape, comfort, or delay. The most successful individuals are not the ones who feel the best all the time. They are the ones who have learned to master their response to how they feel. Emotions are temporary. They rise and fall like waves. But discipline and persistence, those are choices you make regardless of the weather in your mind. When you operate from emotion, you become unreliable to your own goals. But when you persist beyond emotion, you become unstoppable. There is nothing wrong with feeling discouraged. There is nothing wrong with fear, doubt, or frustration. Those feelings are human. But allowing those emotions to dictate your action, or worse, your identity, that is the beginning of self-sabotage. Winners feel the same things losers feel. The difference is that winners keep going anyway. They understand that feelings are signals, not commands. And when the mission matters more than the mood, action wins. Persistence is a form of courage. It is not loud or flashy. It is often quiet, repetitive, even boring. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the do it again mentality. It's working when no one is watching, showing up after failure, staying consistent without applause. Emotion says, this is too hard. Persistence answers, that's why it's worth it. Emotion says, maybe later. Persistence replies, now. Most people overestimate what they can do with short bursts of emotion-driven effort and underestimate what they can build with daily, relentless persistence. You don't need to feel inspired every day. You need to decide who you are every day. Are you someone who only moves when it feels good? Or are you someone who honors commitment even when comfort disappears? Life will test your consistency. It will test your patience. It will place you in situations where your only option is to press forward or let go. And in those moments, your emotions will try to write your story, but they don't have to. You are not at the mercy of how you feel. You have the power to choose discipline over desire, progress over pleasure, and legacy over laziness. This mindset, the one that chooses persistence beyond emotion, is what separates the few who finish from the many who start. It is what takes a vision from a dream to a reality. It is what carries you through seasons of doubt and brings you to places most people will never reach, simply because they refuse to stay the course. Not you. You understand the cost of greatness, and you are willing to pay it, not once, but every day, no matter how you feel. So when the feelings fade, let them fade, but keep moving. When motivation dies, let it die, but keep showing up. And when the world says, slow down, give up, or try something easier, answer with the quiet strength of persistence. Because those who persist, not occasionally, but daily, not emotionally, but relentlessly, are the ones who turn vision into victory. When you look at those who build extraordinary lives, not just in success, but in purpose, in resilience, in impact, you'll find that they are not the most gifted, the most fortunate, or the most motivated every single day. What sets them apart is how they think, how they act, and what they repeat. They live with clarity of purpose. They design their days through routine. They control their minds rather than be controlled by them. They hold themselves accountable and choose environments that elevate them. Their vision is backed by unbreakable willpower, and they persist beyond the rise and fall of emotion. This is the path of discipline. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. The rewards are quiet at first, a sense of focus, a bit more energy, a win here and there. But over time, those small acts stack into something powerful: self-respect, mastery, progress you can see and feel. While others are distracted, discouraged, or drifting, you stay rooted. Not because you never struggle, but because you've made a decision to rise, to grow, to take full responsibility for your life. No matter where you are starting from, no matter what you faced or how many times you've fallen, you can begin now. You can choose to lead yourself instead of waiting for someone to rescue you. You can commit to daily action instead of waiting for perfect timing. And with each choice, each step, each day lived in discipline, you become the kind of person whose results speak louder than words. Let others rely on motivation. You choose consistency. Let others chase comfort. You choose purpose. Let others wait for change. You become the change. Because this is your life, and you're here to build it with intention, with strength, and with the kind of unshakable discipline that makes success not just possible, but inevitable.